Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Sunday Advanced Bible Study, the 14th of June, 2026. Okay, we'll be reading our 5 chapters out of the book of Numbers. We'll be reading chapters 6 through 10. We're going to read each chapter and break it down like we normally do. Okay, and go to our YouTube. You can go to our YouTube channel, Prophets of Awakening. Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 or so videos that you can look at, examine. All these videos will lead you to the truth of the Holy Scriptures. And if you like what you're hearing and receiving, I'd like you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay. For those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance from Genesis to Malachi. And the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by our Savior and our Redeemer and our Deliverer, the Lord of hosts. Okay, consists of our laws and our statutes, our culture, our way of life. Okay, this channel was created to aid and assist our Hebrews who are waking up to their true identity and also understanding who their Savior and their Redeemer truly is. Okay, shalom and welcome to this channel, and welcome to our Sunday Advanced Bible Study. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, Psalms. We have some current events, some need to know information. Then we open it up for some questions, comments, and dialogue. We have our topic for discussion. Then our scripture reading, and then we'll pick a scripture like we normally do. But what I start doing is right after we pick our scripture and break the scripture down, I have a link sent out for the people that normally get the link, and then if you have any questions or comments, you can come in through the link, and then we can do some dialogue and any questions that you came across that you heard on this class today or any other time in your study, you can bring it up and we can talk about it. Okay, try to cover more information. Okay, so with that being said, this moment of silence for the Lord of hosts and all that he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Oh Lord, we thank you for your great mercy and your great power and your wisdom, and we tarry, waiting for your powerful deliverance of your people Israel. Oh Lord, you have given us insight into the scriptures of our fathers, and you, oh Lord, has directed us to who you are and your role in the goings on of heaven and earth. When we come this day, doubtless that you will appear, that you will gather your nation from among these wicked Gentiles. Tarry not, O Lord, for latter days are here. We're waiting and watching for you. Peace be unto you. Okay. I'll read the scripture or Psalms right quick. Okay. Okay, I'll read Psalm 67. It's let all people praise thee. God be merciful unto us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah, that thy way may be known upon the earth, thy saving help among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O God, and let all the people praise thee. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy, for thou hast judged the people righteously and govern the nations upon the earth. Selah, let the people praise thee, O God, let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and God, even our God, shall bless us. God shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. That was Psalm 67. Okay. We'll do now, we'll go to our current events. We'll play it, then we'll get some feedback.
If you own a dog or a cat, you need to watch this video because the USDA has now issued a warning that all homeowners that have dogs and cats need to be aware that there's a flesh-eating parasite known as the screwworm that's now going to impact animals, and not just cows, not just horses. It's going to impact dogs and cats as well. Look at this right here, though. It says U.S. screwworm fix is still a year away, risking more spread. That was what Bloomberg said just this morning. But here's the concern. This is now spreading not just to livestock, it's spreading to our actual pets, our cats, our dogs, our puppies, our kittens, everything. It's becoming a huge issue. Look at this right here. It says, flesh-eating screwworm found in New Mexico dog as outbreak appears to spread beyond Texas. Now, what in the world is going on? And why are we so concerned about this now? Well, I want to read this to you. Look at this right here. It says right here, the insect behind the outbreak is a parasitic fly, Cochleomia something, better known as the New World screwworm. Unlike flies that feed on dead tissue, this species targets living flesh. Adults deposit eggs in open wounds or mucous membranes, and the larvae then burrow into the body, causing serious tissue damage. According to USDA, 4 infections have now been found in Texas, including calves in southern Texas and cases in LaSalle, Gillespie counties. It says a separate case involved a dog in Lee County, New Mexico, though it was first recorded in Texas because that's where the vet who reported it was based. So again, this was in New Mexico. It is starting to spread. But this is one of the issues, okay? I want to read this to you. Authorities say the dog's infection is likely an isolated event. Even so, determining where the animal was exposed is difficult because it had not recently traveled to either Texas or Mexico. It says right here why this matters. Livestock face the biggest risk, but the threat is broader than that. Pets can also be infested, and humans are vulnerable as well, especially if wounds go untreated, which makes fast diagnosis and care important, even though this is not a person-to-person outbreak.
Doctors hate me. I'm not 30.
Okay. Got anything on that?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. You talked about this, just kind of this screwworm or whatever being bioengineered to take over the farmland, but specifically to take it over for those data centers. You know that that's being the purpose behind it. It's not just for no reason.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and then it start all of a sudden you got a tick. All of a sudden came out all these so-called insects that they've already conquered years ago. All of a sudden they're making a reappearance. Yeah, kind of strange to me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Ben Brother and Shalom, them being flesh eating. You know that's
exactly.
That's not regular.
Right. Okay. So here we go. I got something right here I thought that needed to be discussed. Okay. Okay. There you go.
Digging on a small island in the Nile when they pulled something out of the dirt that historians still cannot fully agree on today. Not a statue, not gold. Thousands of pieces of ancient paper, handwritten documents over 2,500 years old, describing a Hebrew community living on African soil, running a fully operational temple, long before most people assume Hebrews were anywhere near this continent. The documents are real. They have been translated. They're sitting in museums right now. And the reason you have probably never heard this story comes down to one uncomfortable fact. After the excavation, the archive was deliberately split across more than 60 institutions worldwide, and not a single museum on Earth displays the full picture. This video is going to show you what that full picture actually looks like and why it matters more than most people realize. To understand what was found, you need to understand where it was found. Elephantine is a small island sitting directly in the middle of the Nile River, near what is today the city of Aswan in southern Egypt. In the ancient world, this island was not a quiet backwater. It was a border crossing, the southern gateway between Egypt and the lands of Nubia and sub-Saharan Africa. It was a military garrison, a trading hub, and a meeting point for multiple civilizations moving through one of the most strategic corridors on the continent. The island had been inhabited for thousands of years, but what the farmers pulled out of the ground in 1893 revealed something that almost nobody expected to find there: an entire community of Hebrew people who had been living, working, worshiping, and building on this African island for generations. Word spread fast after that initial discovery. Antiquities dealers arrived, private collectors arrived. By the time professional German and French archaeological teams reached Elephantine in the early 1900s to conduct formal excavations, a significant portion of the archive had already been purchased and shipped out of Egypt. What remained was recovered systematically, translated, and studied. And the picture that emerged from those thousands of fragments was extraordinary. Drop a comment below if you have heard of the Elephantine papyri before today. I'm genuinely curious how well known this is outside of academic circles. A woman could own a house independently, initiate divorce proceedings, and appear in legal documents as a fully autonomous party. All of this is written out in their own words on papyrus that survived underground for 2 millennia. And at the center of this community was a structure that changes the entire conversation about Hebrew presence in Africa: a temple. This was not a modest prayer room or an informal gathering space. It was a formal religious institution with altars, a priestly class, ritual animal sacrifices, and scheduled religious observances. It was dedicated to their God, who appears in the documents under the name Yahu, the Aramaic form of Yahweh. And this temple was not operating in secret or under persecution. It was recognized by the local Egyptian authorities and later by the Persian imperial administration that controlled Egypt from 525 before the Common Era onward. A Hebrew temple on African soil, running officially and openly for approximately 200 years.
Yep, it's called a home equity agreement.
What's dang?
But Leonard, I was going to ask you about that. Is that what? Because it said the Nubians. It spoke about this being in Aswan, Egypt, being around sub-Saharan Africa.
Right.
Okay, yes, sir. So I know the Nubians. That's Kush, right?
No,
Or no?
I don't think so. I think the Nubians is, in the south. I think that's Put, ain't it?
Put.
Nubians, they're the ones, they was building pyramids too, but they were the smaller pyramids.
Okay, yes, sir.
Nubians, yeah. Kush is another nation, Kushites.
So
Nubians are different people.
Is Kemet, is that the same thing or that's something else too?
Say that again.
Kemet.
Kemet just for land of the blacks, just like
okay.
we was talking
like
about Ethiopia, right?
Okay.
Right. Put a little more of this.
Writing to a distant government official to ask for the right.
If this is legitimate, I mean, they blew up the Dead Sea Scrolls. Why they ain't blowing this up?
Right.
Rebuild their house.
And then the thing about it, he's saying it's in Africa.
Of worship after a politically motivated attack lands in a way that does not feel distant at all. Here is where the story takes a turn.
The crazy part about the interesting part of about this to me is I was playing at a couple of videos on Ethiopia, and the one I played the other day about understanding what it means. It's not a nation, but it's a term which means blackface, and it's a region. You know, it's people with black face, burnt faces. So when a guy was speaking, he said that people had access to Egypt, but it was the people to the south of Egypt they didn't have no access to because of their God. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So they had access to the Egyptians and the Cushites and all the other people, but it was a race of people that was beyond south of Egypt and beyond they had no access to. Okay, and because of when you understand who we are as Hebrew Israelites, we wasn't supposed to intermingle with other people. And so long as Israel was a nation, that was the case. They was trading with them, but it wasn't they wasn't interacting with them. And then we see the same thing happen when they was kicked out of the land of Israel by Antioch Epiphanes. They went to the West Coast. They kept themselves separate. But I just thought that was interesting. Check it out.
That directly involves how history gets told today. After the excavations at Elephantine concluded, the papyri entered the global antiquities market of the colonial era, and they were distributed in a way that makes the full story almost impossible to encounter in any single place. The largest collections ended up at the Egyptian Museum in Berlin, the Brooklyn Museum in New York, the Cairo Museum, the Bodleian Library at Oxford, and the Bibliothèque Nationale de France in Paris, with additional fragments spread across dozens of other institutions in Europe and North America, more than 60 repositories in total. No single museum holds enough of the archive to tell the complete story.
Like I was saying, they didn't do that with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay.
No single exhibition has ever assembled all of it. When individual museums do display portions of the collection, it is typically a few selected documents within a broader ancient Near East section, without the context that would allow a visitor to understand what they are actually looking at. The result is that one of the most significant documentary archives in ancient history, a collection that documents 2 centuries of Hebrew life on African soil, a functioning temple, a destroyed altar, the oldest external Passover instructions ever found, a community of people whose names and daily lives we can read in their own words, is effectively invisible to the general public, not because it is secret, not because access is restricted, but because it was scattered before anyone could protect it, and because no institution has yet committed to reassembling the narrative in a form that people outside academia can actually engage with. This is a real gap. It is worth naming directly.
This is what happens to your body fat.
Okay.
We cannot have an honest conversation about this archive without addressing how it was collected. The discoveries at Elephantine happened during the height of the colonial era, when European powers controlled Egypt, most of Africa, and large portions of the Middle East. The assumption operating within that context was that antiquities belonged to whoever had the resources and connections to acquire them. Local governments had very limited ability to prevent the outflow of their own heritage. International frameworks for the protection of cultural property did not yet exist in any meaningful form. The Elephantine papyri were discovered by Egyptian farmers on Egyptian soil and now sit primarily in German, French, British, and American institutions. Egypt has made formal requests for the return of various antiquities over the decades, as have many other nations whose cultural heritage was removed during the colonial period. These negotiations are ongoing, complex, and often contentious, and the Elephantine collection is part of that broader unresolved conversation. The question of whether the archive should be physically reunified in Egypt, digitally unified in a public database, or remains distributed across its current locations is not merely a logistical question. It is a question about who controls the narrative of ancient history and whose institutions are trusted to steward it. Stepping back from the political questions, the Elephantine archive offers something that very few ancient sources can provide: a ground-level view of daily life in a diverse, cosmopolitan community on African soil during a pivotal period in world history. The 5th century before the Common Era was a moment when the Persian Empire stretched from Central Asia to Egypt, when Greek civilization was at its classical peak, when the Hebrew biblical tradition was being consolidated and written down in its most influential forms. The people on Elephantine Island were not peripheral to that world. They were part of it, moving through it, negotiating with it, doing business across it. Their community included Egyptian neighbors, Persian officials, Aramaic-speaking merchants, and soldiers from multiple ethnic backgrounds. The documents record legal disputes between members of
Listening to that, it sounds like me the time period is right around when Ptolemy, the Antioch Epiphanes came.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do some backtracking on that. Elephantine papyrus is what they call it. But the name of this video is "They Buried It in the Museum, the Hebrew Temple that proves Africa's hidden history." Right. So we're gonna check it out. Okay. And I've been talking about. We got some little visuals. I've been talking about these data centers and all that, and what's coming. Let's check this out. They always they keep addressing these robots as if they people, humans. But I'm gonna check this out.
Behind closed doors in tech labs scattered across the globe, things are getting weird. The line between science fiction and reality didn't just blur.
Yeah.
It completely vanished. We are talking about machines with synthetic muscles that look like real human flesh. Humanoids being mass-produced for your living room. AI brains that can map an entire building and navigate it in seconds. Today on Smart Invention, we're counting down 12 of the newest, most jaw-dropping robots that will absolutely blow your mind. And trust me, number one looks straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. You are not ready for it. Let's get into it. Kicking things off at number 12, and this one right here sets the tone for everything you're about to see. Here's the thing about humanoid robots. Until very recently, they were exclusively toys for billionaires and billion-dollar corporations. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get one through the door. Meet the Unitree G1, and it is about to flip that entire script upside down. This pint-sized powerhouse stands at just over 1.3 meters tall. Compact, lightweight, unassuming, but watch what it does next. That right there is a 1.4 meter standing long jump. No running start, no ramp, just raw mechanical power launching itself through the air like it's nothing. And it doesn't stop there. The G1 can execute ultra-precise tasks with its robotic fingers, navigate complex terrain, and deliver high-speed strikes powerful enough to smash through solid brick. But here's the part that changes everything. Unitree is targeting a mass production price of under $20,000. 20. $8,000. In a world where humanoid robots used to cost as much as a house, this is a seismic shift. Your future household assistant might literally arrive in a shipping box on your doorstep sooner than you think. 12 down, 11 to go. And number 11, this one is already on the factory floor at BMW, and it's completely rewriting what an automated workforce looks like. Number 11, and this one isn't a prototype sitting in a lab somewhere. This one is already working. Meet Figure 02, backed by some of the biggest names in tech and widely considered one of the most advanced commercially available humanoids on the planet right now. But what separates Figure 02 from everything else out there isn't just its hardware, it's what's running inside it. Figure 02 features fully integrated onboard OpenAI intelligence, which means this machine doesn't just follow pre-written code like every robot before it. It thinks in real time. It speaks in real time. Ask it a question on the factory floor, it answers you. Give it a new task it's never seen before, it figures it out. And right now, it's being deployed on the live assembly lines at BMW, picking up metal sheets, placing components with millimeter precision, working shoulder to shoulder with human employees without missing a beat. This isn't a future prediction. This isn't a concept video. This is happening this morning in a real factory with real cars rolling off the line. The shift toward an automated workforce isn't coming in a decade. It already started. 11 down, 10 to go. And number 10, one of the most legendary robots in history just got a complete and terrifying reinvention. You need to see this. Number 10, and if you thought you knew what Atlas was, forget everything. Boston Dynamics has completely torn it down and rebuilt it from scratch. And the result is equal parts breathtaking and deeply unsettling. Say goodbye to the old hydraulic Atlas. The bulky frame, the leaking joints, the mechanical hiss every time it moved. This new all-electric Atlas is sleek, silent, lightweight, and it moves in ways that should not be physically possible. Watch this. It's lying flat on the floor. And instead of rolling over and pushing itself up like a human would, it flips its legs completely backward, bends its joints in directions that would shatter a human spine, and rises to its feet like something straight out of a nightmare. Its torso rotates a full 360 degrees. Its limbs bend beyond any range of human motion. Every movement is fluid, deliberate, and disturbingly graceful. This isn't just a design upgrade. Boston Dynamics engineered this new Atlas specifically to take over the most dangerous industrial jobs on Earth, the ones that injure and kill human workers every single day. Stronger, faster, more agile, and completely electric. The legend didn't retire, it evolved. 10 down, 9 to go. And number 9, this one doesn't just look like a robot from Westworld. It will make you genuinely question whether what you're seeing is real. Number 9. And I need you to stop whatever you're doing and pay very close attention to what you're about to see. Because this right here is the single most realistic artificial human body ever built. Meet the clone robotics torso. And the moment you see it move, your brain is going to have a very hard time processing what it's looking at. Forget metal gears. Forget rigid motors. Forget everything you think a robot is made of. The clone torso is built from thousands of tiny fluid-driven synthetic muscles, artificial veins running beneath a transparent skin-like surface, a biomechanical skeleton that mirrors human anatomy with terrifying accuracy. When it moves its hand, the muscles in the forearm contract exactly the way yours do right now. When it rolls its shoulder, you see the tendons shift beneath the surface, just like a human. It doesn't just look biological. It behaves biological, and the goal of clone robotics isn't just to build a cool torso. Their mission, stated openly and without apology, is to build a completely synthetic human being. Not a robot that looks human, a machine that is human, in every physical sense of the word. If Westworld gave you chills, this one is going to send them straight down your spine. 9 down, 8 to go. And number 8, after all that nightmare fuel, we're switching gears completely. Because this next robot isn't built to work in a factory. It's built to live in your home. Number 8, and after everything you just saw, this one is a breath of fresh air. No creepy transparent skin. No spine-bending joint rotations. No factory floors. Just a robot that wants to live with you. Meet the 1X Neo Beta. Developed in partnership with OpenAI, this machine was built with one purpose: to be the safest, most natural robotic companion ever created. No app. No complicated interface. Just natural human language, and Neo figures out the rest. Instead of hard metal plates, Neo is covered in a soft, gearless fabric exterior, which means it moves safely around your children, your
Okay, what you think? So that's what a man just told you. That's already here. It ain't coming. It's already here, and this what they be talking about. But you're listening to it, you assume they're talking about people. But that's where all these jobs, they're getting rid of all the jobs now. And I played several videos over the last 6 months or so, telling you how these companies, these big ass companies like Google and SpaceX, all this stuff, they already got the orders in. And like the man just told you, they already on the job. Some of these robots already on the job. What you think?
Oh, Shalom, Shalom, brother Leonard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. When you watch some of those, like, they're not science fairs, but like technology expos or whatever, you've been, yes, sir. Yeah, I've been seeing how far along these robots have came, and how long. And the guy you had played some clips like a few months ago where he was saying, and like this clip is saying, it's gonna be mass production. It's already ready. So like when they're saying that the AI is coming and all of that, they're saying like it's coming soon, like right around the corner, not in a few years and all of that, because you already see how many data centers that they have built as well. Yes, sir.
Right. And they're doing it in a way where the average person, they're not collecting the dots. But like I said before the video I played yesterday, how what these people done with Project 2025 and all that they've done, all the drama they done brought about, which they had to do because of what they're getting ready to do, but it disrupted the whole system. And so those people that was going along with it found out later that they're not involved. It's not for them. It's for something else other than them. They being X'd out. So now they gonna turn on the whole system. So that means by November, the midterm elections, they're gonna get ousted. If they ain't accomplish what they're gonna do, they're gonna be ousted in November. So they gotta do all this before November. And the man telling you that the robots are already on the job. Okay? And we already see all the data centers. And this is the reason they're moving at hyper speed. Okay? So you good?
And Shalom, brother Leonard, too. That's ultimate surveillance right there, having those robots around.
Exactly. Right. So I say they killing like 6, 7 birds at one time.
Right, watching everything you do, like the Jetsons.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so let me play this right here. We've been talking about it, but it's some need to know information. Okay, tripping.
You need to hear this. Over 200 years before Columbus ever touched a ship, a king from Africa launched the most audacious ocean expedition in human history. Not one expedition, 2. With fleets so massive they dwarfed anything Europe would attempt for generations. And then he vanished. No body, no wreckage, no goodbye. Just gone. His name was Abu Bakr II, And the story that historians have buried for centuries is about to change everything you thought you knew about who discovered America. Stay with me, because the evidence we're about to go through, botanical, archaeological, linguistic, cultural, is going to make your jaw drop. Imagine this. You wake up every morning to the most powerful throne in the medieval world. Your empire stretches thousands of miles across West Africa. Your treasury holds more gold than most kingdoms will see in a century. Entire trade routes exist just to funnel exotic goods into your palace. For most rulers, that's paradise. For Abu Bakr II, it was a golden prison. Because every morning, while his generals expanded his borders and his courtiers celebrated their wealth, Abu Bakr stared west, past the Sahara, toward the vast, terrifying body of water that Arab geographers called Bahr al-Zumat, the Sea of Darkness. What lay beyond it? Nobody knew. And that question consumed him. But here's what makes Abu Bakr different from every other ruler who ever had a wild dream. He actually had the resources to do something about it. While European kingdoms were scraping together coins to fund a single modest voyage, Abu Bakr could outfit an entire fleet without making a dent in his treasury. He also had access to the most advanced maritime knowledge on the planet, Islamic navigation techniques that wouldn't reach Europe for another 100 years. He was ready. The only question was, would he dare? But before we get to the expeditions themselves, I need to tell you something that historians still argue about to this day. You've probably heard of Mansa Musa, the richest person in all of recorded human history. The man who, when he walked through Cairo on his way to Mecca, accidentally crashed the Egyptian economy just by handing out gold. Abu Bakr II was the king who came before him. Now here's where it gets murky. Historical sources are frustratingly vague about the exact relationship between these two men. Mansa Musa himself, when he described Abu Bakr to scholars on his pilgrimage to Mecca, simply called him his predecessor. Was Abu Bakr Mansa Musa's older brother or his uncle? It might sound like a small detail. It isn't. If he was Mansa Musa's brother, it suggests a shorter reign, maybe a sudden, impulsive decision to abandon the throne. But if he was his uncle, it implies years of calculated planning. A ruler who built toward this moment with purpose. The historians are split. Theory in the comments right now. Brother or uncle? Because the answer actually changes the entire story. Most rulers throughout history, when they got curious about the unknown, sent scouts, a couple of ships, see what's out there, report back. Not Abu Bakr. When he decided to explore the Atlantic Ocean, he built an armada, 200 ships filled with men, another 200 ships loaded with gold, food, water, and supplies. 400 ships total. Let that sink in for a second. We're talking about thousands of sailors and explorers, provisioned for a journey with no known destination and no known end date. This was essentially a floating city, designed not just to explore, but to establish permanent colonies wherever they landed. And these weren't primitive vessels. Abu Bakr's ships were based on the advanced dhow designs used by Arab and East African traders across the Indian Ocean. Ships with superior hull construction and more efficient sail systems than anything European shipbuilders were making at the same time. The fleet launched from the western coast of Mali, somewhere near what is now Senegal or Gambia, and then they sailed west into the Sea of Darkness. Months passed. Seasons changed. And then, against all odds, a single ship came back. Picture the scene at the royal court. One lone vessel approaching the shore. Crowds gathering on the beach. People screaming questions across the water. the mixture of hope and absolute dread. The captain of that ship had a story that was both fascinating and deeply unsettling. His entire fleet had been pulled off course by powerful ocean currents, currents so strong that no amount of rowing or sailing could overcome them. Most of the ships, he said, didn't sink. They didn't get destroyed. They were simply carried away, swept west into the darkness, beyond the point of no return. His ship alone had managed to turn around and fight its way home. Now here's the detail that has puzzled historians for centuries, and what modern science has confirmed. Those currents the captain described, they're real. Oceanographers today call them the North and South Atlantic equatorial currents. They run exactly along the West African coast, and they flow directly toward the Caribbean and South America. The ships weren't lost. They were carried west toward the Americas. And a lesser ruler would have stopped there, mourned the loss, called it a disaster, moved on. Abu Bakr had a completely different reaction. Abu Bakr II looked at the survivors' report and made one of the most staggering decisions in the entire history of human exploration. He didn't send another expedition. He decided to lead it himself. Think about what that means. This is the ruler of the most powerful empire in medieval Africa. He has armies, palaces, gold, absolute authority over millions of people. And he is choosing to give all of that up, to personally board a ship and sail into the same unknown waters that swallowed his first fleet. Before he left, he made careful arrangements. He appointed Mansa Musa as his regent and heir, ensuring the empire would continue to function in his absence. That detail matters enormously. He expected to come back, possibly with something incredible. New lands, new trade routes, new discoveries that would expand his already vast empire even further. The second expedition was even larger than the first. Better ships, more experienced sailors, improved provisions. He had studied what went wrong the first time and applied every lesson he could learn. And then, in what must have been one of the most dramatic moments in medieval African history, Abu Bakr II stepped onto the lead ship, looked west, and gave the order to sail. The richest king in the world had just traded his golden throne for the deck of a ship. And then, nothing. The second expedition left no trace. No returning ships, no messages, no distress signals, no wreckage, nothing. Abu Bakr II and his entire fleet simply disappeared from history. And this is the moment that Mansa Musa inherited the throne, and a mystery that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Years later, when Mansa Musa made his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca, he told scholars and officials about Abu Bakr's expeditions. It's almost entirely from these conversations that we have any historical record of the vanished king at all. But the way Mansa Musa spoke about him is revealing. He didn't describe Abu Bakr as someone who made a terrible mistake. He spoke of him with deep respect and even reverence. The expeditions, in his eyes, were noble undertakings, not foolish gambles. And there's one more thing. Mansa Musa seemed to believe that his predecessor might still be alive somewhere, across the ocean, in whatever world lay on the other side. So, what if he was right? Now I need you to pay close attention here, because this is where the story goes from fascinating to genuinely mind-bending. In the past century, researchers have quietly been assembling a body of evidence that suggests pre-Columbian contact between Africa and the Americas wasn't just possible, it may have actually happened. Let's start with the plants. Several species of plants native to Africa appear in the Americas well before any European contact, and vice versa. Plants that have no known method of natural ocean dispersal. The only logical explanation is human transport. Somebody carried them across the Atlantic. Then there's the archaeology. Massive carved stone heads found in Mexico, the Olmec heads, show facial features that many researchers describe as distinctly African. Some of these sculptures have been dated to centuries before Columbus. Then there's the linguistics. Certain words and place names scattered across the Caribbean and South America show striking similarities to medieval West African languages. Not vague parallels, specific phonetic and semantic matches that researchers say are too precise to be coincidence. And finally, perhaps most compellingly, there are the cultural parallels. Some indigenous American societies developed organizational structures, religious practices, and artistic traditions that bear remarkable similarities to medieval West African cultures. Similarities that appear in the historical record roughly around the early 1300s, which is exactly when Abu Bakr's expeditions took place. Can we prove he made it to the Americas? No, not definitively. Not yet. But the timeline fits. The evidence is there. And the question is no longer whether this could have happened. It's why we haven't been talking about it more. Here's the objection skeptics always raise. The technology wasn't advanced enough. African ships in the 1300s couldn't have crossed the Atlantic. This argument falls apart the moment you actually look at the history. By 1300, Muslim navigators had been crossing oceans for centuries. The Indian Ocean Trade Network, which African merchants were deeply integrated into, required multi-month open water voyages of over 2,000 miles. Sophisticated navigation instruments, celestial positioning techniques, advanced hull designs. All of it was already developed and in use across the Islamic world. And here's the kicker about geography. The crossing from West Africa to South America, specifically to the coast of Brazil, is roughly 1,600 miles. That's shorter than the standard Arabia to India trade route that Islamic sailors were making routinely. The Atlantic currents actually work in a traveler's favor going west. In 1969, Norwegian explorer Thor Heyerdahl proved this point by crossing the Atlantic in a boat built using ancient reed construction techniques. If a boat made of reeds can cross the Atlantic, what could Abu Bakr's advanced fleet have done? The technology was there, the knowledge was there, the resources were there. The only thing missing from this story is the willingness to believe it. Whether Abu Bakr II crossed the Atlantic or died in its depths, his story represents something that goes far beyond historical debate. Here was a man who had everything: absolute power, incomprehensible wealth, safety, comfort, the entire medieval world bowing at his feet. And he gave it all up because he needed to know what was on the other side. That isn't the profile of a reckless ruler. That's the profile of a visionary. Abu Bakr's story also exposes something uncomfortable about how history has been told. For centuries, European and American historians dismissed or ignored African achievements in navigation, science, and exploration. The narrative was simple. Europeans discovered the world. Everyone else was waiting to be found. That narrative is wrong, and the evidence against it keeps growing. Scholars are only now beginning to seriously investigate what African navigators accomplished long before Columbus. And every new piece of evidence, every plant species, every carved stone head, every linguistic parallel chips away at the old story.
Okay, what you got on that? What you think?
Shalom, brother Leonard. I think a lot of this history, they deleted for no reason. Like when he says, "Did he make it?"
Right.
We found research that they did make it because of the designs of the huts in the villages
The
that they were
villages,
building over here.
exactly.
Yes,
Right.
sir. And then even the books, like the clips you've been playing the last few months, all of these different explorers, that have been coming across them in the 700s, the early thousands, and the early 1200s, and all of that. and they were passing people from Africa on the waters and stuff like that.
Exactly right. And then all that whole, the crazy part about that whole region, everything when they got over here, when they finally figured out how to get over here, everything they found over here was tied to West Africa.
Exactly.
It don't take a rocket science to figure out what happened. He came, and then when you look at those, when the way the guy just explained it, Abu Bakr was his countenance, right? And then him being a king and all that.
Right.
What other reason would be for all those big African heads they call? It's because when he got here, his presence. It ain't like he by himself. He had a whole royal fleet with him that submitted to him. So when they saw him, that's where the big ass heads come from. You know what I'm saying? They worshiped him. And then not only that, he showed them skills. He had all these architectural skills, all these skills from West Africa. Navigation skills, boat skills, all that. He showed them that. That's where the head's coming from.
Right. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so he had everything he needed to build the same kingdom he had in West Africa. He had it on the boats. He had to go back.
Right, because then they say, Brother Leonard, it was like a city at the sea, one of his vessel.
Exactly.
On the
That's
carnival.
right. And now you can see how he advanced the Indians over here. He advanced them. You know what I'm saying? He brought all this high tech, all this technology, then he brought all this gold. And so that means that he know how to refine it because they had gold over here. So this the missing link. This is what they took away. Now we can see this the missing link. It's the same way with what they told us, don't read the book of Enoch.
Yes, sir.
But when you read the book of Enoch, then you see all the missing links. Same thing right here. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir, because it ties, like you say, Mansa Musa and Abu Bakari, the fact that they're Hebrews. People miss that.
Exactly. Oh yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna do this right here, because I'm big on this. I've always been talking about, and it's so crazy how people can't fathom that everything that's dealing with Christianity came out of Egypt, and then they got our records. They got our records, and you know what I'm saying? And that's what our records, Tanakh, the Old Testament, was the glue to bring that together. What they had, what these people had found out and received from the Egyptians, they used our records to solidify it, to gel it. So we're gonna look at that right quick. Then we're gonna talk about it. So check this out. I mean, then like I say, when you hear this and when you see it, I mean, come on. Something wrong with you. You can't connect the dots.
Have a strong past.
Like I said, I got a whole series of 12, I think 13 videos on non-Messianic conversation just talking about this on Prophets of Awakening, but let's check it out. It's crazy. Here we go. Like he continues to keep hearing that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then if you looking for the truth and you got Hebrew blood in you, you don't want to unsee it. Check it out. I'm kind of glide through this, but I just want to hit on strong points. the name of it, if you want to watch it, The Egyptian Origins of Christianity. That's the name of the video.
The Egyptian Origins of Christianity. Introduction. For centuries, Egypt has been recognized as a cradle of civilization.
And so the part about it that was, to me, that's devastating is that it's when you understand that what we are and what our God demand of us ain't the same as these people. So it's okay for them. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for them to take somebody else's religion or take something from over here and bring it over here and make something else better, make something else they would say better or they advance civilization. That's good to them. It's not, ain't nothing wrong with it. But it's a problem to a Hebrew Israelite. But notice how when this guy is talking, as if it's something good. You stole this information over here, hoodwinked this over here, but it's something good. It's good to them. Check it out.
It has significantly impacted human history through its monumental architecture, art, science, and religion. Over time, as empires rose and fell, ideas traveled and intertwined.
Check it out.
Egyptian religious practices interacted with other cultures,
that's good.
Especially during the pivotal era of
it's okay with them.
Under Ptolemaic rule. It was during this period that some seminal concepts later found in Christianity began to crystallize.
Yeah.
This book unravels the evolution of these concepts by delving deep into the symbiotic relationship between ancient Egyptian religion and early Christianity. We investigate how these influences manifested themselves through shared narratives, rituals, and symbols. Furthermore, we scrutinize particular Egyptian deities, such as Osiris and Isis, to understand their role in shaping some key Christian doctrines and beliefs. As we explore this profound connection between two seemingly disparate religious systems, it becomes apparent that understanding the Egyptian origins of Christianity,
it becomes apparent. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this, look at this from a learned man perspective. Okay? Check it out.
It's more than an academic pursuit. It possesses the potential to transform one's perception about the essence of religion itself.
Yeah.
Throughout this journey, readers will be stimulated to reevaluate their assumptions about religious boundaries and summon them to contemplate how ancient wisdom continues to shape our spiritual experiences today. As one delves into the study of Egyptian influences on Christianity, it is essential to understand that religious beliefs are not static entities, but constantly evolve.
Constantly evolve.
Borrowing elements from multiple cultures and religions. The beautiful tapestry that forms Christianity is intricately woven.
Check it out. You gotta hear this.
Traditions.
You gotta hear this again. Watch this.
And that religious beliefs are not static entities.
Check it out.
But constantly evolve over time, often borrowing elements from multiple cultures and religions. The beautiful tapestry that forms Christianity.
The beautiful tapestry that forms Christianity.
From diverse spiritual traditions. Egypt has been a melting pot of different cultures and ideas for centuries before the birth of Christ, due to its geological location, making it a significant center for religious convergence. The Greek Ptolemaic rule between 305 to 30 BCE in Egypt led to a fusion of Greek and Egyptian culture, manifested in religion through Greek divinities acquiring attributes from their Egyptian counterparts.
I broke all this down.
One such example is Serapis, a Greco-Egyptian deity combining both aspects of Zeus and Osiris. As Christianity emerged within this context, it could not help but be influenced by its Egyptian predecessors. There are numerous examples where parallel concepts.
Can you hear that?
I can hear him, Brother Leonard.
Okay.
Trace back to earlier religions, such as Isis and Mary, being revered as mothers who stood by their sons in great adversity. Furthermore, the early Christian writers were well aware that Jesus was not the first God to die and then rise again. Osiris served as an original prototype of resurrection in ancient Egyptian myth. From symbolism like the Ankh, an ancient lozenge loop cross symbolizing life, that later transmuted into the Christian cross, to tales of divine incarnation known from both Pythagorean and Egyptian traditions, it is evident that Christianity has absorbed and been shaped by its Egyptian sources. Ancient temples and religious texts, as well as funerary practices, reveal a complex interplay between Christianity and its antecedents. By examining the ancient religious interactions between Egyptians and early Christians, we can develop a deeper understanding of how cultural exchange played a pivotal role in the formation of the Christian faith. Recognizing these connections does not diminish Christianity, but rather enriches our knowledge about the intricate history behind its development.
It's a good thing.
Appreciating such historical influences provides insight into spiritual matters that go far deeper than mere allegorical similarities between various myths. A comprehensive understanding of the shared history between Egyptian religion and Christianity can help us bridge gaps between cultures, facilitating greater empathy and cooperation across multiple dimensions. Moreover, learning from the past enables us to chart a better course for our future. As we grapple with religious conflicts that continue to divide humanity in the present era, recognizing our common origins fosters a sense of unity. By understanding the confluence of different cultural values that shape religions such as Christianity, we move closer to harmony and constructive dialogue between diverse faiths. Early Egyptian religion provided a compelling framework for the spiritual life of the Egyptians. The concept of divine legitimacy, wherein the pharaoh was seen as God's representative on earth, is enshrined in many surviving artifacts. Perhaps most intriguing is how Egyptian religious beliefs connected with the idea of an afterlife. The preservation of one's mortal remains through mummification and elaborate funeral rites ensured an eternal existence following death. The extensive pantheon of Egyptian gods and goddesses pervaded every aspect of daily life. Emphasizes how intertwined different cultures can be when it comes to understanding the origins of our spiritual beliefs. Acknowledging these origins ultimately enriches our understanding of Christianity and leads to a more profound grasp of the complex tapestry which is human spirituality. The Christian idea of the Father, Son.
This is the Trinity right here. Check this out. This is big. Check it out.
Grasp the complex tapestry, which is human spirituality.
Come on. Here we go.
The Christian idea of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is eerily reminiscent of the triad of gods presented in the ancient Egyptian religion. As we delve into this fascinating correlation, we reveal how deeply rooted Christianity is in its traditions, beliefs, and religions that preceded it. In ancient Egypt,
check it out.
the divine triad was composed of 3 gods: Osiris, Isis, and Horus.
Okay.
Each had a vital role to play in maintaining balance and harmony within their world.
Check it out.
Osiris represented the underworld and resurrection. Isis embodied love, motherhood, and protection, while Horus signified kingship and served as a sky god. Together, these 3 deities performed a powerful trio that guided Egyptians' lives spiritually and morally. The concept of Trinity did not confine itself to one divine trio, but could also be found throughout ancient Egypt with other groupings like Ptah Sekhmet Nefertum from Memphis or Amun Mutkonsu from Thebes. This belief system provided its followers with comprehensive spiritual and moral guidance, responding to various aspects of their lives. Christianity's use of a similar concept as their core belief could be seen as an attempt to appeal to those previously immersed in Egyptian religion or other polytheistic faiths. In that case, believers would be more likely to accept the new religion being introduced to them by drawing similarities between their familiar beliefs and those presented in Christianity. The foundations for the concept of the Holy Trinity were laid when Paul started shifting from an exclusive understanding of Jesus' divinity as God incarnate towards including Jesus within God's monocentric character. Furthermore, with Egypt being such an important cultural and intellectual hub for early Christianity, the significance of the Egyptian religion in shaping the Christian concept of the Trinity cannot be understated. A significant area where the influence of Egyptian theology can be seen is in the development of the councils that sought to define the nature of God, Jesus, and their relationship. The developing idea of God as a monotheistic yet trifold being, which later became known as the Holy Trinity, was debated vigorously during these councils. The involvement of Egyptian bishops like Athanasius clarifies how deep Egypt's impact on this doctrine was. Another factor.
Yeah, so like I was saying, the title of this video is anybody that's searching for some real in-depth understanding of what has happened to us as a people. This is a video you need to look at. It's the Egyptian origins of Christianity. Okay, you got anything on that?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. For me, it was a video that you had sent out. It's been a while ago now, but when you watch Egyptian videos about their culture, like Egyptian videos itself, you know, about their culture, you kind of find out that they were, you know, they had an evil culture, a pagan culture.
Exactly, right.
Yes, sir. So
the fallen angels.
Yeah, yes, sir. Because that's what I was gonna say, Brother Leonard, or ask you rather. The 200 angels, that was a council too, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right. And like I said, the crazy part about it is we limited to what we do as far as research. When you just go, you ain't got to go saying that this, that, and another. Just go look at how the Egyptian culture was set up. And as soon as you start looking at it, you're gonna say, damn, this is what Christianity is. Just like I said with Buddhism. How many people go and deal with Buddhism? You're gonna find out that Buddhism, all this tied into Christianity. That's where Christianity come from. When you understand who the Greeks are, they came in, they copied every country and every civilization they came into, they copied, they stole from it. That's how you get Christianity is a amalgamation of all these religions these people came into. And that's how it was formed, like the guy said, and what they believe and they got Negroes believing it, that is beautiful. When you know how they took all these concepts from different concepts from different places and concocted to create Christianity. The end result is beautiful. It's beautiful to them. But when you understand who we are, it's an abomination. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, you good?
And Brother Leonard, those people didn't like the Hebrews, right?
No,
So I don't know why everybody wants to well, it's because they don't know, they like the knowledge, but everybody like kind of looks up to the Egyptian culture.
Oh, right, exactly. And then when you actually understanding what we know now about the effect of the fallen angels coming and engaging with women on earth and getting giants, do not the Egyptians have that in their history?
Yes, sir, they do.
Don't Japhet have it in his history?
Yes, sir, it does.
That's their common ground right there. That's how
Right.
you get Christianity.
Right.
Okay. But anyway, so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start reading our 5 chapters. And then, like I said, we'll bring in the Q&A at the end where we bring people up that can come in through a link. Okay. So we're in Numbers. We're gonna be reading chapters 6 through 10. We're gonna start reading first.
Shalom, yes, sir. Number 6. Okay, yes, sir. And so the laws regarding the Nazarite. So
Okay.
yes, sir. And so the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall make no vinegar, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dry. All all of the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All of the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled, in which he separateth himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and he shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. All the days that he separateth himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. He shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, or for his brother, or for his sister, when they die, because of the consecration of his God is upon his head. All the days of his separation he is holy unto the Lord. And if any man die very suddenly by him, and he have defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day shall he shave it. And on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for him, for that he sinned by the dead, and shall hallow his head that same day. And he shall consecrate unto the Lord the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. But the days that were before shall be lost, because the separation was defiled. And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought on to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and he shall offer his offering unto the Lord, 1 he lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb for the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and one ram without blemish for peace offerings, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, and their meat offering and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord, and he shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering, and he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering, and the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of his head of his separation and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram and unleavened cake out of the basket and one unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite after the hair of his separation is shaven. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. This is holy for the priest, with the waved breast and the heaved shoulder. And after that, the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite who hath vowed, and of his offering unto the Lord for his separation. Beside that, his hand shall get according to the vow which he vowed. So he must do after the law of his separation. Bless the Lord unto Moses. Verse 22. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. And shalom. That was Numbers chapter 6.
Okay, what you got down on that?
Brother Leonard, something that I misheard in just before in reading up on the Nazarites, it in verse 2, it says, Speak unto the children of Israel when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow the vow of a Nazarite. I didn't know that that the Hebrew women were able to take the vow as well. That's something that I read over myself.
Right, exactly. So then you see how, notice how he said that they have to shave their head on the seventh day.
Right.
So like I said, there's something going on with that. Because if you go back to like he was saying about the fruit trees, you know, when you first plant a fruit tree, you can't deal with the fruit the first 3 years. First 3 years, you don't deal with the fruit. The fruit ain't good.
Right. Yes, sir.
After 4 years, so you have to also understand they have to do with our hair too.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on. Okay.
Because he telling right here, when he comes to the door of the tabernacle, at that very same time, he got to shave his whole head off, all his hair off.
Right.
At the door of the tabernacle.
Right.
And then he also says that the lamb that he got for his sacrifice, he got to take that same hair and put it in the fire under what the lamb being cooked at, that being sacrificed. Well, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to read it a little more. It's just bouncing off the pages now while you was reading. Okay. You got anything else on that?
No, sir. That's it.
You gonna read 7?
Right. And it says, so offerings by the tribal princes. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had anointed it and sanctified it, and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed them and sanctified them, and the princes and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of their tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Lord, 6 covered wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. and that thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon according to their service, and 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari according to unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. But unto Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they shall bear upon their shoulders. And the princes offered for the dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offering before the altar. And the Lord said unto Moses, they shall offer their offering, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nashon, the son of Amminadab of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nashon the son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel the son of Zuar, prince of Issachar, did offer. He offered for his offering 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 spoon of gold of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nathaniel the son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab the son of Helion, the prince of the children of Zebulun, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliab the son of Helion. On the fourth day, Elazar the son of Shador, prince of the children of Reuben, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, excuse me, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elazar, the son of Shador. On the fifth day, Shalumiel, the son of Zerushadai, prince of the children of Simeon, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shalumiel, the son of Zerushadai. On the 6th day, Eli Asaph, the son of Duel, prince of the children of Gad, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, a silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eli Asaph, the son of Duel. On the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, prince of the children of Ephraim, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elishama, the son of Ammihud. Verse 54. On the 8th day, verse 54.
Well, yeah, we pick it up in 86.
In 86.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. And it says, and the spoons were 12, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece, after the shekel of the sanctuary. All of the
the reason why we fast forward is what you just read. So why is it 12 spoons?
12 tribes, right?
Yeah, but you got a prince, each tribe. Remember we talked about that a couple of years ago about how they got, it's like 23,000, 24,000 people going to the temple and maintain the temple each month.
Right.
And it's 12 men, 1 man each month over each a month.
Right.
So each one of these spoons is for each one of these men. These 12 princes. Go ahead. So that's all you read.
Okay, yes, sir. And so in 87, and all the oxen for the burnt offering were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12 with their meat offering, and the kids of the goats for a sin offering 12. And all of the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offerings were 20 and 4 bullocks, the rams 60, the he goat 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar after it was anointed. And
so we just saw that. So we just saw that it's 12 men there, right?
Right.
That's why we started dealing with 12. Well, go back to Balak. What Balak was doing? How many rams he was sacrificing? How many altars he built?
He built 7, right?
Why?
The angels, 7 angels.
7 angels. Okay. Right. Remember what Abraham told Amalek? I'll set aside 7 huge lambs over here.
7 huge lambs, right? Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. So yeah. Yes, it ain't something I concocted. Go ahead.
Right. We reading it. You can read it. In verse 89, the last verse, it says, and when Moses was going into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of the testimony, from between the 2 cherubims, and he spake unto him. And Shalom, that was Numbers chapter 7.
Yeah, okay. You want to read 8? Then I'll read 9 and 10.
Right, yes, sir. And it says in Aaron to light the lamps is the title I got, Brother Leonard. But it
Yeah, I
says,
got the same thing.
okay, that's a good one there. Okay, and it says, and Aaron and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give the light over against the candlestick. And Aaron did so, and he lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlestick, as the Lord commanded Moses. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold, unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof, was beaten work, according to the pattern of which the Lord had shown Moses. So he made the candlestick. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And thus shalt thou do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shalt thou take for a sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord and the children of Israel, and shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, and they shall offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto the Lord. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for an offering, for they are holy, given unto me from among the children of Israel. Instead of such, for they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel, have I taken them unto me. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself, and I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there may be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come nigh unto the sanctuary. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according unto all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes. And Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did they unto them. And Aaron spake unto Moses, saying, This is that belongeth unto the Levites, from 25 years old and upward. They shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And from the age of 50 years they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation, to keep charge, and shall do no service. Thus shall thou do unto the Levites touching their charge. and shalom. That was Numbers 8. Numbers chapter 8.
So verse 25. Why 50?
But that was my question. Why 50? You got 25 years of service. Yeah, why
So
why is that?
50? What's the first thing you think about when you think about 50? Jubilee.
Oh man, I'm tripping. Right, yes, sir. Okay. Okay.
So they serve 7 times 7, 49. It's out. They out. They're 50.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So anyway,
Right.
another thing, I'm always talking about we trying to rightly divide the suffering servant, right?
Right.
So go to we pick find out who he is. Isaiah 52, 13, 14, and 15, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Read 20 through 22. Chapter 8.
Oh, sorry. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did the Levites according to all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them.
Now here you go. This Isaiah 52, 13, 14, 15. Read 21.
And it says, and the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes. And Aaron, they washed their clothes.
Okay.
And Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites and to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did they unto them.
And that was 52, 13, 14, 15 tell you? They
That's
garments was all so marred.
Exactly.
Then he had to clean them up. There it
Sure.
is right there.
Right
okay.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna read 9 and 10. It says this is the observance of the Passover. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of the Sinai in the first month of the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep Passover at his appointed season in the 14th day of this month at evening. Ye shall keep it in its appointed season according to all the rites of it and according to all the ceremonies thereof shall you keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at evening in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead bodies of men, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead bodies of a man. Wherefore we kept back, that we may not offer an offering unto the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your prosperity shall be unclean by reason of the dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the second month at evening they shall keep it and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. And they shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor bring any bone of it. According to the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean and is not in a journey and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he hath brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season, that man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance both for strangers and for a man that were born in the land. And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony. And at evening, there was upon the tabernacle at it were the appearance of fire until the morning. So it was always the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, being after that, the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their tents. And the commandment of the Lord of the children of Israel journeyed, and at the commandment of the Lord they pitched, as long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents. And when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, and the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and journeyed not. And so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of the Lord, they abode in their tents. And according to the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. And so it was, when the cloud abode from the evening until the morning, and that the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed, or whether it were 2 days or a month or a year that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents and journeyed not. But when they were taken up, they journeyed. At the commandment of the Lord, they rested in their tents. And at the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. Okay, you got anything on that?
Shalom, brother Leonard. That same cloud in Exodus, it said an angel was leading them out of Egypt.
Right, exactly. So right here was this killed what I was listening to right here. Listening to this while I was reading it, it described what you got all these nut buckets talking about when to start keeping Sabbath and all that. So he tells right here, he says, at evening, right?
Right.
See, at evening, then let me read. Let me get it. I'm gonna start at 14. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord, according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have no ordinance, both you shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land. See, and on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the clouds covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony. And at evening, see, look at this. At evening, that's before the sun go down. See that? At evening, there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire until morning.
Right.
So evening can't be what these nothing but talking about before daybreak. So he said the cloud is over them at evening. That's before the sun go down. And then he says until morning the next day. See that?
Right.
So Sabbath start when the sun go down on Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Until
then,
the sun come up.
And then when the sun come up, Sabbath day start.
Right.
The sun come out, but the Sabbath day. But when the sun go down at evening is when it starts. See that?
Right. Yes, sir.
And we also see that It was another place. I'll find it later. Okay, chapter 10 says the silver trumpets. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shall thou make them, that thou may use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but one trumpet, then the princes, which are heads of the we're talking about that, the 12, heads of the thousands of Israel shall gather themselves unto thee. And when ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall be forward. And when ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey, and they shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generations. And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. Also, in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in your beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpet over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, and they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God. Okay, and it came to pass on the 20th day of the second month in the second year that the cloud was taken up off the tabernacle of the testimony, and the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. And they first took their journey according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. In the first place went the standard of the camp of the children of Judah according to their armies, and over his host was Eshal. So this right here again is dealing with those 12 men. I'm gonna pick it up in 29. And Moses said unto Hushbab, son of Rigel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto the place of which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good, for the Lord hath spoken good concerning Israel. And he said unto him, I will not go, but I will depart to mine own land and to my kindred. And he said, leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as thou knowest how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and thou mayest be to us instead of eyes. And it shall be, if thou go with us, yea, it shall be that what goodness the Lord shall do unto us, the same will he do unto thee. And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in a 3 days' journey to search out the resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by day, and when they went out of the camp. And it came to pass when the ark set forward that Moses said, rise up, Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee. And when he rested, he said, return, O Lord, unto many thousands of Israel. Okay, that was Numbers chapter 10. Okay, what I just read, the last couple of verses, I read it yesterday, but I didn't, for some reason, I didn't expound on it. Notice how Moses would say in 35, and it came to pass when the ark was forward that Moses said, rise up, Lord. and let our enemies be scattered. So what you think that means when you say rise up, Lord?
You saying stand up off the seat, off that mercy seat?
Wings, flapping the wings, raise up.
Oh, like lift
Yeah,
ourselves.
lift up. Yeah, I saw it the other day. I was reading. I said, okay, but yeah, we're gonna keep that in our head, right? So that's what hit me when I saw that. Yeah, the other one yesterday said lift thyself up. So know what a bird do, right?
Right,
Okay, yeah.
right.
So God, we're gonna pick a scripture. We're gonna read that. Then we'll open it up for some Q&A. We got a scripture.
Yes, sir. Shalom, brother Leonard. I think maybe one of the scripture we had just mentioned about the Sabbath in Leviticus 23.
Right.
Yes, sir. Leviticus 23 in just 31 and 32. And you shall do no matter of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month at evening, from even until even, shall you celebrate your Sabbath.
Okay.
In
So
Shalom.
yeah, so that's another example of the timeline. You saying?
Well, yes, sir. About the Sabbath being from evening to evening.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
24 hours.
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you can send the link out so we can so I can get some feedback. Anybody have any questions, any comments, dialogue, or any testimonies? You got anything, AJ?
Uh,
Any testimonies?
Shalom. Yes, sir. I got a question, brother Leonard. It's in 2 Samuel 12. Supposed to have this mark. But it's 2 Samuel 12 and 27 and 28. And
Okay, what you got?
yes, sir. So it says, and Joab fought against Rabbah of the children of Ammon and took the royal city. And Joab sent messengers to David and said, I have fought against Rabbah and have taken the city of waters. Now therefore gather the rest of the people together and encamp against the city and take it, lest I take the city and it be called after my name.
Right.
Yes, sir. And so Shalom, and that was 2 Samuel 12, 26 to 28. I read 28 too. I'm sorry. And so, Brother Leonard, my question is, Joab told David, so Joab had already captured the capital of Ammon. And so he told David, David used to go out to war with them, but at this point, David would stay back. So he told David, you finish off the city or the siege or what have you, so the victory can be under your credit, right, brother Leonard?
Right. Exactly.
And so, okay, yes, sir. So my question is though, is that how Yahweh, like how Yahweh had the Lord of hosts go save them from Egypt? So it's under your name. It's not under Yahweh's name. It's under Michael's name, because Michael went and saved Israel from Egypt. So he would
Right.
have that
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
his.
Right. You can say that. Yeah. Exactly. So it also goes back to remember what the people had said about. Remember what they said. Well, what Saul had a problem with it. I mean, Saul had a problem when they said David and Saul and killed thousands, but David had killed tens of thousands.
Right.
Same thing. So said so that Joab won't get the glory. He told David to go in, that he'll get the glory.
Okay, yes, sir.
Right.
So the glory of saving Israel from Egypt shall belong to the angel that did it, not to the one who sent them necessarily, right?
Right, but where he's given the nation of Israel to him. So in
Right.
order for him, he had to go claim
Right. Okay. Right. Yes,
it.
sir.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Shalom.
Anybody else got anything? Okay. Anybody else got anything? Any questions, comments?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. I think Joyce and Cheryl may be coming.
Okay.
And then, sir, before we get off the line, can you please explain again how this will be working with sending out the link? Because I don't think that all of them heard your message yesterday.
Right. Right. It just said I'll save the Q&A for last at the end, and then at that moment the links they'll get the link that they can come in. We can if they have any questions from listening to the class, then they can bring the questions up, and then we can talk about it. So we're gonna do that on the end of the Sabbath class, end of Sunday class. We do that.
Yes, sir. Will that be happening for the morning and evening Shabbat class, sir?
Yeah, we can do
For both?
For both, and then today for Sunday.
And then on Sundays. Okay.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So anybody got anything? Any questions, comments about anything?
Just one more thing. Joyce and Cheryl, did you all hear that message about how Brother Leonard is going to do a test run on Q&A and discussion?
No, ma'am. Could you repeat it? I'm sorry. I just got one.
Yeah, every on the Sabbath class, at the end of the class, when I do the Q&A, the links, you get the links where you can come up and you have any questions or any comments. We'll do that for the evening Sabbath class, the morning class, and then for the Sunday class.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know, so while the class going on, you can formulate your questions or whatever. But at the end of those classes, we'll bring up I do the Q&A. Then everybody can come up and if they have any questions.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
anybody got anything?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. I wanted to ask, am I supposed to only be asking questions from today? Because I do have some about.
No, any question, Q&A. Okay.
Okay, about on Sabbath morning,
right.
The symbols that were found in Egypt and Turkey. You played an audio about that, and the 7,000 years apart. It made me think about how Noah was perfect. So someone else off the ark must have had this like evil and unholy information for it to show up in Egypt. And that was my question. Is that what happened? But then Brother AJ, I think, did mention that the fallen angels came down in Turkey. Is that correct? And that's why those things were there and then later found in Egypt many thousands of years later.
Well, it was talking about Canaan. You got Canaan, you got Canaan, you got Canaan, but you got Canaan. So and that's been taken out of our understanding from the scriptures after the flood. Right after the flood, it was a son from Noah named Canaan. He's the one that went and found the writings of the watchers, and he didn't tell Noah about it. So that's why when it says they journeyed east and found a plain in the land of Shinar, that's because they got the information from Canaan. Canaan, the one found the information, but he didn't, and he wrote it all down, but he didn't tell Noah about it. And that's been taken out of scriptures. It's in Jubilees. That's Jubilees, right? AJ?
Shalom, yes, sir. It's in the book of Jubilees.
Yeah, it's Canaan. Canaan. So you got Canaan, Cain, and Canaan. So that's the origin there. Yeah. So he's
yes,
the
sir.
one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I forgot about it until you said it. My second thing, it was mentioned on Sabbath that something about they don't have history, Edomites, Esau. And my thought was Cain, Japhet, and Esau, they do have a history, but nobody in their shoes, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, would really willingly want to identify that was true about themselves. Like there's no pride or honor that comes from being seed of Satan, Lucifer, the devil, Samuel, whatever you want to call him. So it seems like they're always trying to be a part of somebody else because what is true about them is, I guess, ugly and nasty.
Right, exactly. So they, what they always wanted was our heritage. For a prime example is what Canaan did. He was allotted a certain land, but on his way to his land, he stole our land. They always wanted our inheritance, our what the Creator and Lord of hosts has done for us. They always wanted that, and then we can see that in everything they done. How they took our records, and how they mingled our records, and stole our heritage and all that. Is all that's the spirit that's on these on Cain. That's the spirit that was on Japhet. That's the spirit on the Canaanites. That's the spirit on the Edomites. They want what was given to the Most High's people.
Yes, sir. Brother Leonard, I have two more comments or questions. And they're both from today, Advanced Bible Study. When the reading was happening about the vow of the Nazarite,
Right.
somewhere in the scripture, it talked about like if someone had suddenly died around the person taking the vow. And in the list of things to do, it also included having an offering of a turtle. And I've had this question, but it dawned on me again when it was read during the scripture. Why is a turtle sometimes offered or sacrificed? If there's any understanding behind that.
I think it's a turtle dove, not a turtle.
Okay.
Turtle dove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in my head I was thinking, well, that's not clean meat.
Right.
I don't know if back in the day Israelites were making something out of the shell, but why would sacrificing that be a big thing?
Right. I think it's a turtle dove.
Okay.
Right.
And then my last comment from Sabbath and this advanced Bible study, the video you showed today where the robots are here clearly.
Right.
A few weeks ago, I don't think it was more than 2 months ago though, I saw an interview of an American man that had purchased a robot from Asia. He's some type of computer and engineer of some sort.
Right.
And he was trying to research what it does and just get information because he was curious. But the person he was reporting to, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name of this video, it just came to me while you were showing the video you showed. He concluded that the robot learns quickly, even though there's no information within the robot. It learns as it goes, and it uses that information to understand what to do quickly also. So it's almost like it gets knowledge and it can use that knowledge very quickly. But his last and final thing he concluded is that a significant amount of information and data, including images, are sent back to the company. And what he said was, even though it's an Asian company, everybody should expect, as cool as this robot is, it doesn't matter if it's Asia, Germany, Russia, or America. If this robot is in your workplace or your home, it's sending everything back that it's hearing and seeing. So it was something when you showed the video, and then it was talked about that surveillance is going to be easy once these are in the house, because that's basically what he said.
Right.
Shalom.
Right. Same with yesterday about the data centers. Israel has the main data center, and it's set up on spy technology. So all this data center in Israel is receiving all the information from the other ones that's in these other countries. Okay. Anybody else got anything?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. Brittany was speaking about the turtle dove, right, and the pigeon. That's in the book of Leviticus, chapter 12, where it speaks about, that's what the woman offers for a burnt offering.
Right.
Am I correct on that? Okay.
Did it say turtle dove, right?
Hold on, Brother Leonard. Let me get there. Yes, sir, 12:6. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation until the priest.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Got anything else? Anybody else?
Shalom. I have another question. I'm looking through all my notes from many days. This might have been, I have May 30th down, Sabbath. I don't know why it's down, but geographical directions. What's the scriptural meaning for northeast, south, and west? What does that actually refer to, if it doesn't refer to what we think it does now?
I'm bedazzled. What do you mean?
You know what, Brother Leonard? I don't know what was talked about May 30th. I just put that down as a question from Sabbath. I'm sorry.
Okay. Somebody else got anything? Everybody good? Okay. No
yes, sir. I'm good.
Okay. So yeah. So this is what we'll be doing on Sundays after the class. So we have to do Q&A, and then on after the Sabbath class and after evening Sabbath class. Okay. So with that being said, if nobody else have anything else, I'm going to say shalom, shalom, and another shalom. I say everybody. We have our Tanakh and news briefing on Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
I highly recommend that you get this book and you read it, because it's a must that you understand who God head is in the order that's in the Old Testament and Tanakh, because it's not the same as in the New Testament. And when you read this and you get an understanding, then the scriptures open up, and then you begin to understand. So I highly recommend that you get this book. It's the Elohim of Israel, and it's a breakdown on the word Elohim and who the God of Israel is, and the Godhead.